Hello, I am here with my Feel Good Friday on Sunday again. And as usual, I'm going to share with you guys something from my real life. I've talked recently about the feelings kit and how that helps me stabilize my emotions, among other things that I do to stay happy every day. And you guys know that Friday I had a really, really stressful day. And so I thought I would just share with you guys a little bit back to basics and what helped me get through that stressful day. Because it's easy to, say that I do all these things in the morning to stay happy on a regular basis. But then when something unexpected happens, I just want to share some tips and tricks of how I got through my day on Friday. So for those of you that didn't know what happened, if you weren't watching my Facebook page, so I was on my way back from Mexico, and Friday morning I get to the airport in Saltillo, Guanajuato, at 6:30, and my flight is supposed to leave at 8:41. I had to then go to Mexico City, and that flight was supposed to leave at 1:20. That was going to take me to Dallas, and then I was going to get home to Detroit around 7 o'clock. So when I got to the airport, that flight was delayed. They said it was going to be delayed just 1 hour. It ended up being delayed 3 hours. So then they came to me. I was flying on Aeromexico or Delta. I think they collaborate with Delta. And they said that they didn't have any flights, but they needed to reschedule my second flight because I wasn't going to make it. So they rescheduled it on an American, and they could not print off my tickets. So I had to get the tickets up at the counter when I got to the airport. So I was on a rescheduled flight. That flight landed in Mexico City at 1:15, and I had to board my next plane at 1:25, and I had no tickets. So I was in one terminal. I get off, and Mexico City Airport is the hub of Mexico. It is the largest airport in Mexico. So think Houston, Dallas, Chicago airport size. Like when you come there, you get on a bus just to get into the airport. And then I get out and people are going one way. I go with them and I'm like, I'm supposed to go to the American. They're like, that's not here. You got to go on a train. So I go to where the train is. That doesn't even come for 5 minutes. So by the time I'm even where I need to be to get on my American Airlines flight, it's 15 minutes before it's going to take off, let alone talking about boarding the flight. So then I'm trying to go through customs because I had just have this little thing and I thought that they could print it off right at the counter. And they're like, no, you have to go through, you still have to use the kiosk. So then I walk over to the priority kiosk and they're like, are you American Priority? And I'm like, I am today because I got 15 minutes to board this plane. So that takes forever. And then it prints off the thing 5 minutes before it's going to take off, that I can't get on the plane. So then I go talk to the person at the desk, and he's mean to me. He's yelling at me. So, hey, Christina. So he's yelling at me, and I just start crying. And I got so emotionally upset. I have not been this emotionally upset in a really long time. And when I get upset, I actually start to have physical reactions. So I had a headache. I started to have a stomach ache. By this time, I actually had eaten breakfast at the hotel at 6. And then when I was sitting there and it was delayed, I was like, oh, I should get some more food. And I ate at 10. So now it's 2:15. I'm crying. I'm upset. I have a headache. I have a stomach ache. I'm starting to feel inflammation in my body because that's how I react when I'm highly stressed. And now I have to take a train back over to the other side of the airport, and they have to reschedule me. And that took another almost hour and a half just to do that because we had to get my luggage and all that stuff. So the first thing that I did, as we're sitting here talking about, when you're in the moment, when you're getting stressed out, is I prayed, as well as announced on Facebook, because that's what I do in my life, and told a couple of my friends, can you pray with me, right? So that's the first thing that I do when I'm stressed out in order to balance myself. And then I I said a couple affirmations to calm myself down. I started thinking about all the good things that happened during the week because I had an awesome week. Like, I had a really awesome week. I got to hang out with friends. I had good food. I got a lot done at my job, like everything I need to accomplish at the plant. So I started to refocus on the positive things. Like, in the whole grand scheme of things, what had just happened was not that difficult, especially once I got my flight rescheduled. Like, of course, it was super stressful at first when I thought I was going to be stranded in Mexico City. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll send you to Monterey and you'll get home at 8 o'clock tomorrow. And I'm like, no. So then they're saying they're going to send me to LA. And so that's what ended up happening. I had to go to LA and that was like and that was until 7, and that was a 4-hour flight. And then I had finally got to Detroit at like 8 a.m. But then the other thing that I did do is I used the oils that I had in order to help me feel better. And when I had discussed before, and I was talking about what I do to stay balanced emotionally, I usually use a feelings kit, but I didn't have that with me. It was packed away in my luggage. And so it was just a reminder for me of how powerful the essential oils are, and how really the starter kit is so amazing in the way that they've put it together, because it had what I needed to help me out. So after I got my ticket and I calmed down, and then I was sitting down to get some food, I was able to use Digest, which is a digestive blend. So that was able to help me with my stomach ache. I use Stress Away a lot. I put this on the back of my neck, was smelling it. I use lavender also to calm down. And usually on a normal basis, I don't use lavender all that much. It's really not it's not really one of my favorites. It's not really one that I say calms me down all that much. I mix it with other stuff, but when my cortisol levels and my stress level was so high, then using the lavender helped. I also put some Citrus Fresh in my water because Citrus Fresh is super uplifting. I use some Thieves to help with my respiratory. And then I used some Panaway where I was starting to have tension because I was upset, like in the back of my neck and in the front of my head from the stressful situation, the unusual situation. I was starting to have some tension. I used the Panaway to relieve that tension. And then I also just happened to I have mostly the starter kit is what I had with me. But I also had Abundance. Abundance has orange, frankincense, patchouli, clove, ginger, myrrh, cinnamon, and black spruce. So orange, frankincense, patchouli, those are all really uplifting oils. And then some other oils that are good for like digestion. So I was smelling this as well, putting that on. And then I did take a drop of peppermint like under my tongue. So it was just a reminder for me of, again, like a lot of times people will be like confused, like I can't use the oils, or they think that they don't need the premium starter kit, but it helped me get through that particular stressful situation when it was an unusual stressful situation. And once I did all that, again, concentrating on positive things, not concentrating on a situation, once I knew I was going to get out of the country, praying, asking my friends to pray for me, plugging into my community, and using my essential oils, it was very easy to immediately reduce my stress levels and get out of that situation. So again, I just want to come on here, and yes, Christina, affirmations are so important. They are so important. Like it's just, I can't explain. So I just want to share with you guys. You guys know I come on here and I do my Feel Good Fridays on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday when I can come here. I may have been able to do it on Friday, but considering I ended up getting stranded for half the day in Mexico and then later was able to come through, I wasn't able to. So I'm here doing it Sunday, and again, just trying to share some tips and tricks for emotional health and well-being that helps me get through the day, just in case you have an unusual situation and get stressed out. Hopefully some of those tips will help you. And as usual, these are always available on my YouTube page, so you can rewatch them. And if you think anyone else can benefit from this, feel free to share it with them. If I'm the person that you've seen this from and you have any questions about anything that I said in here, you can feel free to direct message me, or if somebody has sent it to you, then you can get with them. Thank you. Have an amazing day, and thank you for watching.